Over here, one and told nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI network, the Throwback Edition, NWA-TNA number 58. This is Trent Locke, my co-host, Bill J. Bone, and Uncle Mark. And we're going back to the asylum today, boys. We are back to the asylum one more time. Nashville, Tennessee. Bill, how many times have you driven to Nashville, Tennessee?
I've driven to Nashville, Tennessee, I think only the 2 times.
That's it. That's it.
There was a third scheduled, but it never happened. But I think, I think it was 3. I think it was 3 times.
Very nice. Very nice.
2 total, but a third never happened. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was close to there a couple other times, but no full on Nashville. I've been to Nashville more than that, but drove only 2 times.
A week ago when he wouldn't tell us where he was. Were you in Nashville?
No wrestling in Nashville. Right?
No, Nashville.
Well, none that you can get into, I guess.
Yeah.
I should say.
Well, the weird thing was there were shows there. I don't know the current what's going on over there, because occasionally you do see like indie shows running in that area.
But
I haven't seen as many lately. I saw some like a couple months ago. There was like Swinger was on some, but I haven't seen any in Tennessee. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm not sure what the current status is in Tennessee. I got to look into this.
I think James Storm is in a backyard trampoline league or something now.
I saw that.
That's what I hear.
What a lunatic. I commented.
Awesome.
I tagged Wildcat. I'm like, come get your boy. He's had a few too many, man. Like, dude was like barefoot, like shirtless, and a trampoline, and he's dying. He made it like 3 seconds, and he like runs, and he can barely run.
Dude, that run is hilarious. I had to rewind it.
Yeah, see him going up the stairs.
Oh, yeah, the stairs. He was struggling
God,
upstairs.
Cracking. I'm so glad I'm a James Storm fan now.
And then the slow-mo water throwing over his head thing.
I didn't see that. That was another part to it?
Oh, yeah, that was another one. Yeah, it did 3rd-degree burns. He's like, I'm an idiot.
Oh, my God.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, because he did. It's so cold out. You're supposed to like do like the water thing, and then it freezes while it's in midair and comes down like a mist. But it wasn't cold enough.
Yeah,
wherever he was, and so it came down on him and burned him.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I bet he doesn't think so.
Yeah, I just well, he was also the one jumping on a trampoline barefoot, though.
Next time he sees you, he's going to be like, "I heard what you said about that shit, Trent. That was awesome."
In 2 feet of snow, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Storm has 2 nicknames for me. Every time he sees me, he calls me another Native American nickname. So the first time because he's half Native American too, so he gets away. But the first time he called me what did he call me the first time? He goes, God damn. Well, the last time I saw him in October, he called me Chavez from Young Guns. He's almost start calling you Chavez. So he called me Chavez.
Better than Dirty Steve.
Yeah, better than Dirty Steve, I guess. But I forgot what the first time he called me was Navajo in Florida. Bill, you were there when we were at the bar. And I bought him a shot.
Navajo.
Like, goddamn Navajo over here going, buy me a goddamn motherfucking shot. Like, that was the first time he started calling me Navajo. And he's like, fuck that Navajo shit. I'm going to call you Chavez. You remind me of watching Young Guns, part 2, motherfucker. And I was like, all right, I'll go. I can't even get part 1. Huh? I got to get part Young Guns 2. I'll take it. Whatever. That one had the Bon Jovi song in it, so we're good. So I'll take it. But J-Bo, we got to get you to Nashville, and Bill, you've had the Nashville hot chicken when you've been there, right? You've had the Hattie B's and all that stuff. J-Bone has no pertinent he has no lean towards any kind of spice at all. Paprika is like considered exotic to J-Bone. Okay,
I can't even pronounce it.
Exactly, J-Bone. We're gonna get you the ultra extra hot chicken from Nashville and see if you can handle it. You got to eat the whole thing though. It's ultra extra, bomb went off hot.
Yeah, but just J-Bone, you have to make sure to wash your hands after eating it, because we don't want you to go to the bathroom after this. Because then
I have seen that penis.
For those who don't know,
I don't even eat Popeye's chicken. That's spicy.
Oh my God, delicious.
May I share the story? Bill, should I share the story? I guess for the people who don't know.
I think you should share the story. Although it's happened to many of folks, but
okay.
Share the story.
I'm not alone here, but we went to I forgot the one we went to before. It wasn't Hattie B's, but went to right before.
I went to Hattie B's. I was supposed to meet you at Hattie B's. I still went. You went somewhere else.
We ended up going somewhere else. We were stuck on the other side of town because Basil got caught. Or not Basil. We were stuck
Just
with
blame
something.
Basil. Throw him under the bus.
We'll blame Basil. Yeah, well, he's working for the other guys anyway now, so blame Basil. We got stuck somewhere else.
That's bad.
We went to the other one. I can't remember the other one we went to, but anyway, day of homecoming. We went to this place. I got the hottest one they had. Went to the bathroom, washed my hands, then took a leak. Washed them again, and then we're on the way to the asylum. First time the asylum. I'm in the back seat of my buddy Skull's car, and I'm kind of like uncomfortable. Like,
I have the runs.
Almost on the other side, but I was like, really? I'm like, what the hell's going on, dude? Burning, like I'm talking STD burns to the crotch. I'm like, what is going on here? Holy shit! My first time to the asylum, I went with a fiery. Go play the Don Callis again. I played with one of those. I guess you can wash your hands as many times as you want. It doesn't make a difference.
I have seen that penis.
Unreal. It was unbelievable.
It's been a bangorama.
All the above. It was very uncomfortable, guys. That's what happened. So wash your hands several times after eating a hot chicken in Nashville.
Oh, good for you.
That's what happens. So Jay, we're gonna get you one of those. Well, Mark, you ever been to Nashville?
I have been to Nashville, but I have not had the hot chicken.
Oh, wait a minute now.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah, we gotta get down one of these days. Maybe we'll make up that show Bill was supposed to go to in Nashville.
I'm in.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, Adam saying fire crotch meant something totally different back in his day. Yeah, it sure did. Back in my day too. I think we're the same age, Adam. So I think I know what you're talking about. It wasn't that kind. It wasn't a good one.
I think it goes beyond just our age. I think it's
back in my day, man, it was a stripper with red hair.
I had that burning feeling, Zach. I sure did. It was a very uncomfortable first hour of homecoming was very uncomfortable. The Ultimate X, Bill, which ties into tonight's episode.
This is horrible.
Oh, unbelievable. It was very uncomfortable.
Jiminy Christmas.
But
where's my Zach Morris? This has got to be the earliest Zach Morris ever.
Play on the Zach Morris.
Start burning pee-pee. Come on.
I mean, listen, it's a funny story. I have to tell it. Why not? I got a shot. I don't mind poking fun of myself.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is horrible.
I'm also the guy who willingly sets himself to get dunked on the main show
That's
all
true.
3 hours we do it. So the hell do I care?
That show should be renamed Dunk on Trent. It's become quite the festival.
Fucking A, man.
We should start doing all comments on this show.
Well, it depends. We want to do comments of the show. We want to talk about the show. This one in particular was a very hot show. This was hotter than that hot chicken, Bill. This is hotter than some.
Would you guys? Do you think this is better than 55?
What was the main? Is that D-Lo AJ in 55?
Yeah.
50. You know what? Crowd on this one was better than 55. They were.
55 is the 3. The submission match.
Oh man, that's a good one too.
Yeah, it had Bill hated the end on that.
That's right, Bill. You didn't like that one. That's right.
That's when franchise.
Good, but it was, but that's going to be a consistent message through many of these episodes.
Yeah,
including tonight.
Fair enough.
A lot of endings great matches get spoiled by bad booking on the end.
Which, as we know, Bill, that was the big complaint that a lot of people had back in the day. Wow, they keep interfering.
This is where it begins. This is the beginning of that complaint.
I was just about to say, you can see it. Yeah, you can see where it's starting.
And honestly, I'm going to have a come to Rudy moment tonight. And I was watching a match.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that bad.
I thought the same. I think I know where you're getting at. So I'll let you.
I'm going to go more. It might be more Vince's fault than Rudy's.
I think I know where you're going with it too, and I'll let you bring it up when we get to it for sure. I had the same thought. Before we start the J-Bone, I know you wanted to make a shout out to somebody from the Impact family. He's the cover photo of the episode tonight. I know you want to say a little something about that.
Oh yeah, a couple things actually, but yeah, we'll start with the one. Just sending prayers and thoughts and warm wishes and all that stuff out to Konnan. Heard he's hospitalized because of COVID and kidney stones.
Oh shit! Both.
Yeah. So he's got a double whammy, unfortunately. So we pray he recovers. I mean, a kidney stone is one thing. Yes, it's very painful, but you know, usually you recover. But COVID is that giant question mark right
yeah,
now.
Well,
So
he actually had a kidney replaced.
He did have a kidney replaced. You're right.
Ooh.
So
I think
not
that's
bad.
why they're extra careful with him right now.
Yeah. So we pray he's comes through fine, and
best wishes.
yeah, absolutely.
And he's predominant on this show. I mean, this is the debut of the 3 Live Crew on the show in the ring. You know.
Yeah.
I should say on the main show, because they made reference to the fact 3 Live Crew has been hyping it on Xplosion this whole time. So
really putting over Xplosion at this time.
A lot. Did you catch that too?
Yeah, because these are pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So the only TV show, it is a TV show, much like current Ring of Honor or there's like ECW back in the day. It might be on like your local station somewhere in America is what they're referencing right now. No channels, but like it's probably on like Sports Channel America.
Did you get it where you were? Did any of you guys get Xplosion locally? Because I didn't get it here in Chicago.
I don't think so. I think it was mainly in that area. Is my guess was most of their feeds.
Yeah.
It's like Ohio Valley is in that area locally, like the Kentucky, Indiana. My guess is it was near Tennessee and surrounding states.
Gotcha. Yeah, Xplosion was Arkin, to answer your question, Xplosion started very soon after the weekly started. It's the oldest running show in Impact's history. Is actually Xplosion, not Impact Wrestling, the weekly show. It's actually Xplosion. It started right, I want to say in 02. Like, I mean, I think maybe around episode between 5 and 10 of the weeklies. Xplosion, because they started taping those darks early. And they started just bundling them for local market. And they got the Australia deal pretty early. And it went out to Australia pretty early. And then they had a lot going on. So Xplosion's actually the most longest running show in Impact history. So it's got, I swear I wish they would release all of them. I mean, you go back, we see the dark matches on these results. There's some gems on Xplosion, man. It had one hell of a roster come through it. Especially some of the guys who end up on the main show too, on the weeklies. They'll still be on Xplosion, warm them up, and then go from there. But
But I think we're starting to see that again, though. We've got guys like Shogun and like Shira seems to be an Xplosion mainstay right now. I think we're starting to kind of see the return to that format.
It is. You're absolutely right. Yeah, because it's the place to get them kind of warmed up and work out the kinks. That's the whole point of these kind of like a B show is to work out the kinks, try out new things, and bring them on the main show.
Hey, that may have been working out the kinks with Joe Doring, but all he did was I think he left some kinks in Shogun.
Jeez,
man, that was fun though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
great 5 minutes.
What a great match!
I think all of us are just hungry for Doring to be given blood. Like
I'm
just
telling you,
give him more meat. Like send him to AEW and just let him loose. Like that's what I want from Joe Doring.
Big time. Well, Zach confirmed right here, November 27th, 02. So very soon after, maybe a little bit after. I thought it was in between 5 and 10. So a couple months later, about 5 months later, I should say, that after the company started. So it's early. I mean, it's an old show.
Yeah.
And Armand's right. It was not really a B show. It was just kind of a show it's out there somewhere if you can find it. But Arcade, they do have the tapes. Kevin Martin said the tapes all still exist. They do have them all in the vault. So they got them.
Between Kevin and Garrett, someone needs to do something here.
I mean, just put them on. I say just do a mad dump and put them all on. What's it going to hurt at this point?
They're still missing. They're still missing Impact for some key years.
That's a selling point, though. You know, that'd be because you can sell that like all of 2008 now on Impact Plus. It's like, oh shit, the main show is on. You know, like who was there in 2008? So and so and so and so. Like you could sell it on that. Xplosion's kind of it's kind of like garnish on the Impact Plus. So
it's kind of like a forgotten stepchild, unfortunately.
It is.
It still is. It's in this same,
but maybe internationally not. I don't think on the throwback you get that international audience. But let us know if you are international in the audience. I know RK. He spent some time South Africa and stuff. But how about Xplosion? Are you guys familiar with it? Because obviously that's big. Like, so it's at kind of very normal programming for you. Because hey, how many times have we been in the audience and heard about an over every country in the world and millions and hundreds of millions at home.
That's true. That's very true. Adam's saying they got it late night back in Detroit. It's back in the day, so that's interesting.
Oh, wow.
That would be that would sound right.
See, that's interesting to see. That I'm fascinated. Like, who got it? I know Chicago definitely didn't have it. We didn't have it.
Random markets, because I remember that was very much Ring of Honor as well. It was like Philly was the home base, and they didn't get it, and we didn't get it. Ring of Honor on TV. When it was
that was the weird thing about that.
Yeah.
But like Las Vegas got it.
I know it wasn't around here. The only thing we had was like, the big companies and Pro Wrestling Report after X amount of years. So
which is done now, right, Jay? That's over.
I think they're still doing audio. I'm not sure. It came back recently, but COVID kind of affected that too, because they were doing it all in like one place, and then it just
interesting, yeah.
So I'm not sure. It could have been because Damian Nelson came back from the Orient, and but I'm not sure what he's up to. So that might have affected that too.
Yeah, Channel 9 in Detroit's CBC.
Interesting. Very Xplosion. Very, very interesting. Almost a mysterious, dark hole, and we'd like to shed some light on it. I would love for them to just
with some.
There we go.
TV.
UK TV.
Oh wow.
And that's been on. So I'm telling you, man.
Internationally syndicated since 04.
Just dump it all on Plus.
Wow.
I swear I'd go back and watch it. I shit you not. I would go back and watch the old.
Or even just dump the matches in a format. Repackage it into like a Xplosion's, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Because it also followed a very similar format. It was like dark matches, recap, interview segments. It was like a 30. I don't know if it was only like a 30-minute show at the time. Maybe I'm wrong. It could have been the hour, but wasn't much more to it.
Hey, with all the stuff they're doing now, I think, you throw it on either Twitter, social media, YouTube, you'll get viewers. Because the big news today, obviously there was the huge viewer increase from this past Tuesday show. Yes. But not only that, Impact on 60 charted for, I think, the first time ever.
Did it really?
Wow.
Impact on 60 also was in the top, I believe. What did they do? 150 shows.
150,
and it was in the 150.
Wow.
It was a New Japan.
That means people, because obviously people were watching that and New Japan. So it was the right time. I knew as soon as we saw that a couple weeks ago, New Japan, there was going to be something big that day because that was so random. That was New Japan's focus show. So
I just love to know that block is working out. Like, especially the BTI, it was a success already that it charted. That's great. Good for them, man. Good for them. Very cool. All right, guys, let's jump into this. We have a hell of a build up here, but we could talk about Xplosion all day, which is interesting that we could talk about a show that we never really got to watch that when it aired. All right, guys, back to the Asylum. NWA-TNA number 58, August 13th, 2003. We're gonna do the usual shtick here, Bill, even though they hate when I do it. I'm gonna still do it anyway.
I don't think Mir's here.
Oh, Mir's not here, so he can't give me shit about this. All right. August 13th, 2003. Now, I was on my buddy Dave's couch eating Chinese food or a pizza, paying our $9.99, putting the VHS in, taping NWA-TNA number 58, which Dave still has all the VHS tapes in his garage, by the way. And he asked me the other day, do you want all these? I go, fuck no, not yet. Not until I get the house with space. Not in the condo. But J-Bone, what were you doing August 13th, 2003?
I actually know.
Oh, shit.
I actually know what I was doing.
Okay.
And if I didn't, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
All right.
It's my daughter Morgan's 3rd birthday.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
She had the half birthday 6 months away from my ex, so that was like easy to remember.
Perfect. So that is Miss Morgan's birthday. You were not watching this live. You were at Chuck E. Cheese or something, probably.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. Diving into the balls, trying to
is now.
Grab it. What?
Mir's here, by the way. Mir's here to give me some shit. But speaking of Chuck E.
here.
Speaking of Chuck E. Anybody remember Discovery Zone? Do you guys have Discovery Zone?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yes.
Shit, I love Discovery Zone.
Oh,
all right.
so awesome.
All right, Mark, what were you doing August 13th, 2003?
West Chase area, Houston, Texas. Definitely watching it on the Clone card on a Wednesday night. Certainly.
Very nice. Bill, summertime. We're at the last month of summer here. Probably some maybe baseball games on Wednesday night. Are you watching this live? What are we doing here?
Probably not live. This was probably, I think you might be right. This is baseball. This is the throws. So I could definitely see some, maybe not a concert this night, but this definitely could have been a baseball night. If not at a game, maybe at home watching.
All right. Very nice. I miss baseball games, man. I'm a big White Sox fan. White Sox games are the most affordable ticket in town for anything, cheaper than a movie. And I just like, it's one of those things in Chicago. It's like, you want to go to the game and like hang out, you know, it's like a shitty team or something. Man. It's cheap enough to do that. And I fucking just miss that in the summertime.
Tiger Stadium was $3 seats before they tore it down.
Oh, man, crazy.
Oh, I remember Philly Franks. You would get a free ticket in the package of hot dogs.
Really?
What?
Just giving them away.
You would get like a sticker, and it would be like a thing that would be like, you can redeem it for one of these dozen games.
Really?
Nice.
And it would be like, look for that Pirates game that was a doubleheader. Buy some hot dogs, get 2 games. For
2 games for the price of $1.
Nice. Very nice.
By the way, speaking of where J-Bone baseball, J-Bone Brewer Stadium, Miller Park is probably my favorite stadium, dude. What a beautiful baseball stadium that is. Great place.
I have one because I was thinking about my daughter a lot because you were talking about the date and stuff like that. I have one grand moment that I might have mentioned it on here before. We were at, it was like I don't know if it was opening day or during the summer or whatever, but it was like somewhere within the first like couple years that Morgan was born. And then my wife took our older 2 daughters, my stepdaughters at the time, to go get a snack or something. So I'm sitting there between innings holding my daughter. She's asleep in my arms. And now there's a camera just an arm's throw away from me, you know, one section over, whatever. And I'm looking up at the screen because, you know, kids are like dancing on the screen. They do like pans through the crowd and stuff. Yeah. And all of a sudden I noticed they show this bald guy holding this baby and they slowly zoom in on him. And it takes me a couple seconds. And then I realize it's me. Now there is like 40, 50,000 people there. And all of a sudden there is this collective, like it gave me chills. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
you're like the whole effing bone.
Yeah, like the whole thing was connecting to me holding my baby, and I was just like, "Oh man!" And then my wife came back, and I'm like, "You missed it."
That's awesome. Like Scott Hall would say, J-Bone was over.
Over.
Which one's Jay?
Whole effing bone. Whole effing bone.
I was telling Big Kev, he's like, man, you got to put J-Bone over. Just put him over. Put him on big screen. Get the baby in the hand. It's awesome. 50,000 people giving that all. He's over. That's world champ right there. There'll be more of that Scott Hall later. Anyway, let's
okay, Boomer.
We haven't even got to the open yet.
Yeah, we have it. Let's get to it. Opening match on this one. We're at the Asylum. The crowd right away. They have packed it to the gills on this one. You guys catch this? Bill, did you see the top? They almost like it was like more rows in the top that I've ever seen up. There was a
crazy. Shit ton of daycares in the house too.
Jesus. It was a lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids in this one too. Like I said, there's been a concerted effort. Like, you know, when I said there were some plants in the audience last week. They're definitely, it's almost got that, they're not in Orlando yet, but it's getting that Orlando vibe where they're doing things with the audience, which is smart. They're a TV product. I know it's pay-per-views right now, but it's like they're preparing for the TV product. And they're doing some stuff. I think they definitely are working the crowd a little bit before it goes on air. Yeah.
They were hot though. I love this crowd today. They were so into shit. It was like, it got me more into. I was like, fucking fired up watching this.
They got a hell of a show that night.
They did.
Fired up about.
They did. Opening match. This was a debut of 3 Live Crew in on the main show. All the vignettes leading up all week, or all month, I should say. And this was a debut here. So it was against Devon Storm, who was Crowbar, Vampire Warrior, who was formerly known as Gangrel, and then Sinn, who's Sinn Bodhi, right? This was
that is Sinn Bodhi. Yeah, I'm like, wow, he looks a little familiar and he sounds a little familiar. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my god, yeah, it's him.
And he is running Future Stars of Wrestling, I believe, in Vegas. That's Sinn Bodhi's running that school or one of the other schools. I can't remember. He's doing something in Vegas.
It's a different one, but yeah, he's in Vegas.
Yeah, he's a different one. Okay, so he's doing. Yeah, he's got his own school out there, and he told a very interesting story about Vampiro on a podcast. About how Vampiro tried to swindle him.
I think there's a lot of interesting stories about.
Yeah. It was interesting. I did like one thing Mike TNA mentioned here. He goes, "You kind of get the vibe of the new church with these 3," and I was like, interesting because 2 of the Devon Storm did do a new church stint. Then Sinn was on before, right? Wasn't he on before? Am I crazy, or didn't he?
No, he was on here before. This was debut, right?
They said debut. You're right. Okay, yeah.
This is his debut, but I was like looking to see like how much more Sinn was involved in TNA. He ends up joining the new church.
That's what it is. I know he goes in.
That's just a few weeks away.
I knew he goes in at some point.
Spoiler alert, J-Bo.
Little bit, J-Bo.
Sorry.
Hopefully he leaves those sucky pants at home.
They're really distracting.
Man, oh man. He's flying around the ring and the pants are like fluttery everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Man.
They're so fuzzy.
What is this show tonight? What's happening?
I don't know. This is wild.
They're so fucking fluffy. Oh
holy shit! What is he doing? What the hell is that right now?
Scott Hall, what do you have to say about this?
I was like, yo, you better get him out of here. He's all fucked up. I don't know what. He's on some pills or something. I mean, throw him in the sauna, sweat it out. Big Kev's like, forget it. Let's go to the bar. I said, pour the drinks. I'm there. I told Kid, why don't you watch him? Take care of him. Bring him back to the bar. We're good. Back to the hotel. Wake up 6 a.m. Get on the fly. We're done. All right, anyway, more Scott Hall.
I want my pizzles back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Hall.
Who's handing out pizzles?
Oh my
3 Live Crew debuted Konnan, The Truth, and BG James. So lots of references to Xplosion during this match. They really kept putting Xplosion over. So we talked about that already. They did a thing where the Harris brothers are watching the match and said they were going to get involved. And they did not get involved, though. They didn't do anything, which was weird.
Sounds like most of their run in Impact.
Yeah, yeah, which really wasn't much. It was a weird sequence.
They were real racist that one time.
Yeah, one time, yeah, which doesn't air. But the ending sequence it's very sexualized because Konnan's on the rope. He's like, "Suck on this," jumps off. BG takes it, does literally the insinuation to doggy style on I want to say Crowbar.
No, I was saying
it's on Sinn. Yeah. Insinuates banging Sinn and then does his pump handle slam, gets the win. And I'm like, that was a very sexualized ending.
I was cracking up.
And there's a lot of that tonight because wait till we get to the whole Watts promo in a little bit. Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude,
holy shit.
All show long.
This is a wild episode, guys. This is so wild. So 3 Live Crew, I mean, they're over as shit. And Mike TNA kind of lets us know that they've been on Xplosion, and that's the crowd's familiar with the playback, and all that. So, as we all know, 3 Live Crew turns out to be a major player in the company at this point. So they are.
I love 3 Live Crew. They're one of my favorite tag teams from almost 20 years ago. So yeah, totally love them.
Yeah,
so much more fun now that they're in the ring and not just on camera.
Right. Because you weren't enjoying those.
Yeah. Before we put a period on this segment, though, we gotta.
We're back in the cut. We're serious, like a late period.
Yes, this one's for you. This one's for you, Konnan. My sparkling water's for you today. Hopefully it gets better, man.
Flat water.
Yeah. Well, definitely hope Konnan feels better, man. That's tough.
Hey,
Don West. Good.
Did you guys think Devon Storm Crowbar looked real clunky here, or rusty in this match?
He looked a little rusty. He's one of the most. He's actually one of the most refined indie, especially coming from the indie, where he was actually a very great performer. He's actually never that clunky. He just looked a little cold, like he wasn't stretched out.
Yeah, maybe he's just rusty or something. I don't know. The first few sequences with Konnan, or maybe it was Konnan, just looked off to me.
I want to say this in his defense. This whole, I mean, as fun as this was with the in-ring debut of 3 Live Crew, this whole match, I'm like halfway through this match, and I'm like, dude, this is Lucha rules. There was not one. There was not one. Serious? Yeah, like someone would like fall out of the ring. The other guy would just jump in and start doing it, and the ref's like, fuck it, just do whatever. It was totally Lucha rules. And they didn't announce it at that, but that's exactly what it was, because there were no actual takes. Some dude would fall out, and the next dude would come in, and they would just all start fucking with each other. It was crazy.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, so that's probably part of it is because everybody was running all over the place for a while.
Yeah,
but it was fun. It was fun.
Oh, it was a good match. It was an enjoyable match. I just thought Storm looked rusty, or he could have been Konnan. I just thought it was real clunky at the beginning.
Could have been it. Yeah, I mean, it could just have been their chemistry. Like, it just didn't click with two guys,
Could have been. Yeah.
Don West guys, I put banana on banana. It was the color I had. What'd you guys put?
I initially went yellow or canary, but then I was willing to go to lighting its gold.
Gold.
Okay. I went gold on gold.
You went gold on gold, yeah. J-Bone? I put banana on this.
I put it felt a little dull. I put yellow on yellow.
All right, yellow. We have a couple different answers here. Definitely derivatives of yellow. That's where we're at here. They go to off-air footage. It wasn't as bright as, because he's done canary yellow before. It wasn't as bright as canary.
No, it wasn't. That's why at first I think his yellow shirt is canary, so this is gold.
We go to off-air footage of 57 of the beatdown of Watts, and then Jeff Jarrett coming in, Russo, Daniels, redshirt security, D'Lo, just everything that happened off-air, because they left abruptly in 57 because they had to cut the feed. So you got the off-air footage of that. We go to Watts in the ring. He's addressing everything from last week. Russo and AJ come out to the ring and say it's not personal. Now the crowd's super hot here. I like that they're really into Watts. Like, Watts is like, Bill, he's like more over doing this, nearly nothing, than he ever was doing anything else. It's mind-boggling to me how over Watts is right now.
He had a following when he first came in, and it's grown because this is a better role for him because it just wasn't working out. So they realized that the authority figure, it gives him time to talk, which he's very good at.
He's very good at
had that from the beginning. And I think, and he's big. He's got a look and he can talk.
The presence
but in the ring, there was something missing in the ring. And that's where, and obviously we saw with Jeff Jarrett, his momentum was really faltering at the time. So he was getting cheered almost. Some of it was for him, but some of it was just to spite Jarrett at the time. But this is now him being his own man, which it's good to say.
Yeah,
because he's talking about the old man in the promo, but he's Eric Watts now. He's not that Eric.
That's right. He's not that Eric, but no, he's doing something here that's really clicking with people. Go ahead, Mark.
I think it's just the confidence of the role. I mean, he's an authority figure, but he asserts his authority. Like, he's a believable figure that if you don't listen to his authority, he's going to chokeslam you. You know, and he does. This is the perfect amount of ring work for him. And Bill has mentioned that before and again. His in-ring work hasn't been spectacular. This is perfect because if he needs to hit a power move or 2 or 10, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm loving Watts right now. It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, the only thing there is one line that it was cheap pop. I'm gonna go with.
We'll put it out. Put it out there. Go set it up.
Well, he goes the hide the PP line.
Yeah.
Cheap gay joke.
Yeah. Which was very commonplace.
Very common. But I think it's even getting old here. Like, this,
it is
5 years late. This joke.
I rolled my eyes.
Yeah, because what do you say? You guys can, because Russo and AJ are like, we're on vacation. We're not doing anything. And he's like, well, you can go play hide the PP in your hotel room, or you can fulfill your contract and fight low key, or option.
And it was like PGing a gay joke, which is like really just awkward.
Yeah, it was. It was a dad joke. J-Bone, would you agree?
It really was a dad joke.
J-Bone's a great dad joke guy.
I'm a dad joke guy. I've never talked about hiding the pee-pee.
I guess it falls I was gonna say, I guess it falls flatter than a plate of piss, like according to our buddy, the Taxman's reference.
Exactly.
Did you? Oh, Mark, you missed this. You're
I
power
haven't
out.
listened. Yeah, I haven't listened back yet.
He's like,
I haven't had power enough.
So Taxman's very Canadian, and he was like, "Oh my god, this fell flatter than a plate of piss," and we were dying at this line. I was like,
"What?
What a metaphor!" It's great.
I'll have to run into the. I'm sure I'll run into the Taxman again.
Oh,
seems
he's
like
great.
A cool dude. Yeah, I'll cross paths with him.
Alicia will be guesting on his show in a couple weeks doing the Gail Kim episode for anybody who missed that. So Alicia from TNI is going to be on his show. Yeah.
Before we leave this segment too, I do like Watts saying bull in the crowd, picking up the shit chant and then just chanting shit.
Is that what they did? Okay, I was like, because he thanks them. He's like, thank you. And I was like, what are they saying?
Keep chanting it. They're just like shit.
This is a trend with the crowd tonight, which they don't blow. They don't censor them tonight.
They don't censor.
They're shit chant. They drop the F-bomb and chants later, and they don't do anything about that.
That's true.
Whoever the censor is on this,
he gave up.
He's drunk. He's Tony Khan.
He just completely missed this episode, and we'll get to more later. But my takeoff, I got all those, but the one I wrote down for me personally was Russo. At one point, I think he's coming back down the ramp, or he's in the ring, or whatever. Mm-hmm. His comeback to Watts was, "I'm a gentleman." And that reminded me of
I'm an upstanding citizen.
Very much so. We haven't played that one in a while. That's a good one. They come in. They get into the ring. Low key runs in, attacks AJ from the back. Watts, then everybody gets in. Russo's in there with the bat. Watts hits AJ. It's a big brawl. And I wrote down Watts super over, but too much. But it's a little biased, right? There's a little bit of bias because he's an authority figure and he's kind of leaning with the faces. But then Jeff Jarrett comes in the middle of all this. Where does Jarrett fit into any of this?
This is where I texted you. I was like, "Here's Jarrett again."
Just because he's got the thing with Legend, he was taking out Legend.
Oh, that's right. Legend came. Legend. I wrote down Legend came. So Legend.
He did end up clearing the ring, though.
He did, but it was like you didn't need Legend or Jeff Jarrett in this segment. It would have been fine with low key Watts, AJ, and Russo. That's it.
But it's the Jeff Jarrett show.
I'm telling you, it just didn't need to be there.
My final comment on this segment, my wrap up says, "Great segment. Screw Jeff Jarrett." That's my comment.
It was so unnecessary to me. That's my thing. I don't mind. Jarrett is a very solid worker. He knows what he's doing. I'm never gonna take that away from him. But this just felt forced in the ring. It was like even Legend. I'm not going to say Legend's off the you didn't need Legend or Jarrett in here. Everything was you set the match up. Low key was in. You're done. I got my match set up. What the hell does Legend and Jarrett do here? Nothing. It doesn't add to it to me. So I just muddied it up for no reason. I think it extended it out too long for no reason too. We go back to the back. Bill's favorite guy, Scott Hudson, in the back. With Simon Swinger and Disco. They cut a promo on the match later. They aren't gonna sit around I love this. Was it Disco who said, he goes, "We're not gonna sit around like JJ Dillon and Tully Blanchard and just wait for Dusty to give us the elbow." I was like, ooh, that was a good line. Because if you watch old NWA, they literally would just wait for it. You know?
And that little nugget had me riveted for that entire main event.
It's true. It's so true.
Because
all I did was wait.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they ended up doing then. It was hilarious. Right. They ended up just waiting for the elbow. The one note I got is I popped for Scott Hudson as he's just rolling into the interview with the three guys. He calls them the Apple Dumpling Gang. I was like, oh my God.
That's Scott. I get myself over Hudson.
You're right. This is the brilliance of old school wrestling mentality. Disco in first 30 minutes puts in your head about the elbow that we're not going to just wait around for that elbow. And like you said, Mark, an hour later, all you could do was wait to see where. I was like, "Come on, Dusty! Come on, Dusty! Hit him with it! Hit him with it! Hit him with it!" It's fucking brilliant. That's what they are missing today. That's the stuff you don't have today. You're just psychology. Play the psychology out.
Trent. Do you remember last Saturday for 1 second when you thought Tommy Dreamer was going to be the Impact World Champion? It still exists. You just got to look for it, and you just got to work hard.
But look who it was. It's Tommy Dreamer. It's a 30-year-old veteran, 30-year veteran.
Hey, Rich Swann was standing in that ring too.
Swan's fantastic. Swann knows how to, I'm not going to take it away from Swann. I love me some Rich Swann.
He understood about half of that.
I was very clear with my statement. But Rich Swann is probably one of the top 3 sellers in the business today. Like that, the way I'll never forget the gauntlet match, Bill. Rich Swann. That, oh my God, match of the year for me last year. I voted for that one.
Good one. It was a good one.
Oh, I mean, he's in there lip bleeding, just. And I was like, "Holy fuck! Somebody get in there!" You know, it's kind of like Rocky waiting for a towel on Apollo. Like,
not last year. That was the year before.
Oh, the year before, 2019. Right?
Yeah, I take 20 out of the equation.
Yeah. Don't even say that. It's just the last year. Yeah, 2019. Oh yeah, because I remember when Cage came out and it was like, oh, Rich was in the ring and they showed his face and he's bleeding and
just
that
snot
and just
shot of Rich, like bleeding, and he's like, look at that look of fuck. Oh fuck!
Well, and even the look on Cage's face, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I have to murder you, dude."
Yeah,
that's a bitch.
Reminded me of like Apollo getting killed by Drago.
Dude, like, stop.
Flashbacks. I can talk
he dies.
Stop.
throw it. Great. So Simon's Dusty impersonation was amazing.
Oh,
very good.
But it's weird to see Swinger mean. I don't want Swinger mean. It's weird when he's like, "You goddamn," like Swinger angry. What are we doing here? Come on.
So successful now in his twilight years, I cannot see him the way he used to be anymore.
How fucking jacked was he back then, though? Crazy how jacked he was.
I can't help but snicker at him a little bit when he's like trying to be so mean. It's like
we're used to now. That's why.
Right.
You guys swing.
Exactly.
His line too, man. That line he delivered.
I saw some idiot on Twitter today who was commenting on the Swingers Palace thread, and he was like, "It's getting a little annoying calling everybody daddy, even women." That's like, that doesn't make sense anymore. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, here's the joke. You literally just flew the fuck over your head. Like, you don't get it at all. Like, you can't
that's like a real life thing. I know people like I worked with a guy down in Delaware, like an old school guy that called everybody baby, no matter who you were. He's like, hey, Billy baby, how's it going?
Exactly. Some guy just got that, brother, daddy, baby. The daddy thing's an old wrestler thing. That's, brother and daddy. It's one of those. But like, how do you not get the satire in that character? Which he's getting annoying. It's like, that's what he does. That's the whole point.
If that's what's annoying you in today's professional wrestling, just stop watching. Just take some time out, watch some MASH, catch up on some Golden Girls, and then come back in about 5 years.
Yeah. Have yourself a Baby Ruth, sit in the corner and calm down. What did Sammy say that one time? We had that soundbite in the show at one point. But great stuff by Simon also.
Look at this dumbass.
Not quite that. We had the Baby Ruth line though in there when he was talking about, give my Baby Ruth, tell him to sit down, calm down, or the fuck it was.
Wait a second. Because of all the beef now with Sammy, was that you doing a bad Sammy impression since you can't do the good one anymore?
Yeah, I'm over it. Well, actually, today's Scott Hall day. Scott Hall. Well, main eventing, brother. That's it. It's Scott Hall day only. Which one's Jay? All right. We'll get to another one. Another one will roll off the tongue soon. Elix Skipper coming down. Jerry attacking him right away. Turns into a match. Jerry and Elix. Jerry is super fired up. Like, he's hot, right? He's all pissed off from last week.
Oh, man.
He's yelling. He's like, you cost me a payday and all that. Like, he's really he's referring to Don kicking him out last week of the building and everything. So he's just brutally beating down Elix. Like, just beating the shit out of him. And the finish. How about that finish, though? That spike off the road. What the hell was that? That was crazy. I've never seen Jerry do that.
That it's a double arm DDT, and he dumped him right on the top of his head. And it looked like he didn't even hold, but it basically looked exactly like what Randy Orton does to his opponents, except like times 10.
Yeah, I have it as a draping DDT. Like, that's what I wrote down, was a win by draping DDT. But it was a huge one. I love these two guys together.
His head bounced like, wow.
It was brutal, man. That's 3 wins for Jerry, though. They refer to that. Callis comes out. He's on the ramp taking notes. He's all pissed off. He's like vigorously taking notes, and shit. And Jerry gets pissed off and he leaves to the crowd in disgust. He's like, I'm done. So this little shift of Jerry is interesting, huh, Bill? Like they're really going, I'm not heel, but anti-authority, which is different for Jerry. He's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's anti-authority, but to be anti the Don Callis authority,
right?
Does that make you heel? I don't know about that. But it's weird that he's the guy, the last bastion. Even though he's an ECW guy, he's not known as much for the hardcore, but he's being made the example of. And I don't know if that's because he's the only guy they can book right now. Because New Jack's missing, Sandman's now they wrote that as part of like the storyline with Don. But it seems like Jerry Lynn, who only had like really a few hardcore really matches, is now Mr. Hardcore in the storyline.
Yeah, like they really turned him into like he's the guy because he's like you said, the last bastion of the ECW run, and it's like, oh, we'll go with him.
But it's reliable.
But it's kind of a weird one to go with because it's like, I mean, Jerry's more of a technical guy than anything.
Yeah, he was the technical ECW guy.
Yeah, so interesting we'll see where they go with it. I don't remember how this one ends up at all.
I love these two guys together. I think they should keep going. I know this is 3 wins for Lynn.
Yeah.
Here,
Elix needs one back here, though. Otherwise, he's dead in the water.
Yeah. I want to see a big
pushes. Struggling.
Yeah, it is struggling.
Even his scales and pieces and stuff, when he picked up the scale, it was all falling apart and stuff. And it was like, man, it's kind of representative of what's going on with Elix's trend right now.
Well, that's because Jerry hit him with it like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, but like you kind of buried Elix here a little bit, right? Like, what are they doing with Elix now? It's like 3 losses. The credibility shot for Elix, unless he gets a huge one back. So I don't know.
Elix needs to beat like Gangrel or something to come out of this.
Just ride. It'd be like a fucking start drinking Jerry's blood or something. Yes, he's the Elix the vampire skipper is what's gonna happen.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
I'm in.
Hudson, Bill's boy, Scott Hudson, back in the back, talking to Sabin, and he just talks about Kaz and Michael Shane's the match coming up. Just arrogant Chris Sabin, the same guy who was at Swingers Palace just a couple days ago. Drunk and just saying this place rules. Like, I love that spot.
Oh yeah, there's great. There's like a gif of that, him going, "This place rules." It's like fantastic.
I love that.
I hear that Storm and Sabin are working on a mixtape together.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. There's a mixtape coming out. But
they're 3 live crewing right now,
basically. But think about this. Crew. From this show we watched today, who's still on Impact today? James Storm, Johnny Swinger, Chris Sabin are on the show today.
Don Callis.
Callis?
D'Lo's not on Callis. D'Lo's not on. He's in the mix.
I think we did this a couple weeks ago, and I think I counted at least 6.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
That's fucking cool, actually.
That is cool.
And then just because I saw the real lifeblood of our audience here, Rex, who's always here, just for him, because I don't know, there's all kinds of this guy talking to chat. But
what's going on?
We have one bite here. Let me.
You've stepped over the line now. You've taken it too far.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there a Sting argument going on in the chat?
I have no idea.
Sounds like it.
Okay. What are you guys talking about Sting for? Leave Sting alone. All right, leave Sting alone.
Wrong show.
We were talking about Sting before this, off the air.
Yeah. Take it off. Take it off the air. Take it to J-Bone show on Wednesday.
Take it to Wednesdays.
Wait, go to Wednesdays.
Smash this podcast Wednesday nights right after AEW Dynamite.
That's right. Did Armand join you, Jay? Was he on with you? I missed it.
I don't remember. I didn't pay too much attention to the chat last night.
No, wasn't he supposed to join you to host it with you?
Oh yeah, he couldn't show up the weekend before. So
you were trying to do the watch along.
Yeah.
A reaction along.
Yeah. I was about to be like, did he join? He's like, I didn't remember. I was like, wait a minute, wasn't he co-hosting with you? I wanted to be like, wait, do you not remember who was your Did you do it solo again last night or what?
Just flying solo.
Oh, look at this, J-Bone.
Jerry Lynn, that turncoat.
Jerry Lynn. We should get Jerry Lynn in the Hall of Fame. I think that guy.
Yeah.
Once he's done turncoating, we should.
Jerry's amazing.
Right. Now this match, speaking of amazing, Kazarian, Michael Shane, #1 contendership ladder match. This was fucking cool, man.
Dude, these two guys.
My thing is, I wrote down Michael Shane is an unsung hero of Impact Wrestling. I forget how this guy was fantastic. I forget how good this guy was. The hell, like what the hell happened here? I don't know. Like he's disappeared. Nobody knows what the hell he is. Nobody's heard from him in years. Like this guy's fucking great. Like what that ladder, that leap onto the ladder was unbelievable. Like
when Kaz was carrying the ladder into the ring, that was awesome.
Oh, dude, that ladder bounced off of his body and then completely ran over his face.
Oh,
unbelievable!
What a leap though. Like he just sent on into the fucking ladder. I was like, what? Just like that. Like that has to hurt from effort. Everybody involved. That's painful, but. Great match. I mean, what a back and forth. And I mean, we'll all talk about this. Like, Bill, give me your thoughts on this. This was cool, man.
Well, I do agree with you. This was a great match during the match.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of great spots. That sunset power bomb, fantastic.
Oh,
yes, invented the destroyer right there.
Basically,
yeah, pretty much. It was a version of the destroyer right there, and that was great. But obviously, I'm gonna go over the ending here.
I figured, let's. It was messy.
So Sabin comes out. He meanders out there with the belt, but then he starts getting involved. All kinds of shenanigans ensue, but he winds up after he attacks both men. Both men. But then he kind of makes okay, that's all he's going to do. He's just going to beat them up. But then he jumps back in and decides, you know what? I'm going to just go get the contract myself.
Weird.
And climbs that up. And then Andrew Thomas has to call for the bell and does a no contest based on outside interference. But while he's doing this, our man, Don Callis, comes in.
Invisible
and he not only grabs the contract, he grabs the belt and leaves. So we have an idea where this is going, and I'm okay with that storyline-wise. Once again, very good match. No finish.
Very
shenanigan-y finish. An ultra shenanigan finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
The one thing I do like about this, though, you just said, I love the setup because it gives a reason for what Don Callis is going to tell us later. So I do like that a lot.
Yeah, how it ends is good. I don't know if it was the execution by Don was great. I don't know if you have Sabin doing what he did.
You don't need Sabin.
Well, and we're surrounded by a lot of shenanigans and wonky finishes and dusty finishes everywhere right now on this program. So I get what this one deserved something a little bit more not so wonky, maybe.
Yeah, Jay, you got a take on this one?
Oh, I love the match. It was so
really
they destroyed each other with this ladder. Without the finish, it was one of the best ladder matches I'd seen recently. Because some are just they just don't go anywhere. The ladder's barely used sometimes. Mm-hmm. This one, I mean, they killed each other with it to the point where Cass is carrying the ladder to the ring. He's barely walking. It's just crazy.
I'm thinking though, what else could you have done? Because you had to do a set. If they're getting to the Ultimate X thing, right? They had to do something where Sabin has to have it held up for his. I mean, I get it. He can interfere and screw both of them, which is what he did. How else could you have done? Like the whole weird thing was him grabbing the contract. Like, why'd you grab the contract? Like nobody can have this now. But what else could you have done to set it up to get him involved in what we ultimately find out is the Ultimate X?
Well, a couple weeks ago, they did the thing where D'Lo and AJ, I know we're talking about a different title here, but D'Lo and AJ came down from the ladder, both holding the title, so they couldn't do something like that. So they had to do something completely out of left field, so that they both couldn't be contenders anymore.
Yeah.
So Jay, you just now admitted that 2 out of 3 weeks they had ladder matches that didn't have a finish.
No finish, exactly. So you got wonky.
Yeah.
You know, it's wonkiness.
They're booking themselves in the corners left and right.
Mark, are you playing Neo Geo?
I am.
What are we doing?
What? Oh, sorry. I was distracted. I just booked this. That was for you, Trent, in honor of you.
Thank you. He's got a Neo Geo shirt on too, which is crazy. That leads me to TurboGraphics 16 there, Bill. Just putting that out there, just letting you know. You know, you got some attic time this weekend, but
between shows,
exactly. But no, good stuff. So as Bill mentioned, Ton takes the title and the contract, and he gets the back. Even before what happens later, I didn't remember. I just wrote down Ultimate X Prelude. I'm like, oh, maybe this is it, and then we find out it is it. So which we'll get to in a second. We get a new Mad Mikey promo, which this was brilliant though.
Yes.
This was fucking great.
J-Lo in bed split, and he's all pissed off about it.
But I gotta say, okay, this was cool. So we get the man. Yeah, he's reading the J-Lo and Ben split. He runs out of toilet paper. He basically goes wipes his ass with Ben Affleck, right? The brilliant though part was you get the feed gets interrupted. I legit thought it was a glitch for a second. I'm like, oh fuck, the tape's bad, you know. But you had TNA like, oh, it looks like we lost the feed or something happened. This was brilliant. They cut to the truck, and Mikey's beating up Keith Mitchell in the truck. He's like, you fucking son of a bitch, you hear that shit? And he's like destroying the VHS tape, kids. He's destroying the VHS tape, and he's all pissed off, and he's throwing a tantrum.
I thought they were the Amped Wrestling tapes.
Oh man, could be. He's like, amped. Good. No, it was brilliant though. These are fun. These are so good. Like put these back out on the feed on the Impact Plus Twitter account. Something. These are just fun.
These Mad Mikey ones could go. You always talk about like the unsung knockouts of the early years, or this is top vignette stuff for sure.
It's just funny as hell. Like it's so forgotten though, so forgotten.
Well, his run tragically brief. So
yeah, he's gone. Like this later the year we're watching, right? He passes, right, Jay? He's
a few months later. Away.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a bummer.
I think we looked it up one time, and he had 12 episodes.
Yeah, something like that.
12
appearances. It's 10, give or take a little. Yeah,
and that's it. So we're at like a handful right now.
Yep. Yeah.
Sad, but this was great. It was very, very funny.
Good stuff.
Hudson with Jeff Jarrett all over the show. He's talking Russo. Nothing too crazy here. Kid Kash taking on Bobby Eaton was next. I didn't know this happened. I wrote down. Never knew this happened. I didn't know Bobby Eaton appeared in Impact. I had no idea. I forgot.
Who didn't at this point?
Dude, I gotta get the Midnight in there.
You might as well have gotten Stan Lane to come in at some point, done the Midnight Express, because fuck, I forgot Bobby Eaton had made an appearance, but then it's Kash antagonizing him, just bullying him, bullying the veterans and stuff, and Abyss comes in, interferes, Kash gets the low blow win. So this is cool, huh, J Bone? Like, get little Bobby Eaton throwback.
Oh yeah, it's just another pop for the territory. I imagine he was big around there.
Oh yeah.
I laughed at this because I know there was some guy. I used to go to local wrestling shows with a good friend of mine a lot about 20 years ago. And there was some guy that used to come out looking like a cross between Bobby Eaton and Ric Flair. He looked just like a young Bobby Eaton. And he was like begging the crowd for money, and I slipped $1 in his shorts or something. I have a vivid memory of that, and yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah,
this was a wrestling show, not
wrestling,
Chippendale, not Chippendales, right? This is a wrestling show.
It was wrestling, yeah.
Checking. Just the $1 in the shorts thing really threw me off there, James.
Oh, very nice. Okay, all right. A little too much information for me, but that's okay.
Kyle and I were so nervous during that interview. Like we were so fucking. Look, oh my God, it's Vince Russo on our show.
I just let it all out. I'm like, yeah, I didn't wax.
I was gonna reach out to him, see if he wanted to pop on today. I'll see if we can get him on for a few minutes next week. Because his context would be great for where we're at now in 03. I'd love to hear like a little Russo take on what was going on, like all the shit happening would be.
With AJ as champ,
yeah, like the whole AJ run, and
we've got to get the Sinister Minister on.
That's one. He said he will do it. He said he is down to do it. So I just gotta reach out and reach out to him.
We haven't had a guest on this show in a long time.
In a while. It's been a bit. We've been so fucking casual, peacock talk and all that stuff. We had a lot of that going on the show. What else we got? So Bob Eaton does win. Oh, sorry, Kid Kash wins low blow. Now Hudson to the back. He says we got something going on here.
And Abyss.
And Abyss got involved. They just go to Legend beating down Watts in the locker room. Nothing too crazy, but I like these little inserts because it's like they got so much going on. They're just feeding story, you know. They're showing what Legend got involved with Watts. Like just there's all sorts of little pre-tapes and just stuff spliced in. It's just something to keep your mind moving. I like that stuff. I don't know about you guys. I'm a big fan of they keep the ball moving on just stuff. Let me keep watching. So a lot of people are weird about the Crash TV stuff. I like it. Go ahead, Mark.
I like it. It reminds me of like mid-90s WCW.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Yeah, like I like to see somebody just a real quick sequence in the locker room. Kind of keeps everybody on TV, keeps the stories moving. The continuous cam they employ here helps a lot too because the building's small. It seems like I've never been, but it seems like a tight space. Is it? I don't know. Maybe that's just how it appears on TV. But it moves around well. It flows well for the show.
It flows well, yeah. I love I'm a big fan of continuous cam. It seems more realistic to me. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
But I just like something happening. Keep me engaged on the TV. Don't let me get boring and zone out. Like just something happening. That was the idea with the cage girls too. There's nothing happened in the ring. Here's hot chicks dancing in a cage.
Where's Lollipop? What's up?
She got hurt a couple weeks ago. Remember that? She got involved. That's right. She got violent, man. So shit happens. She'll be back. My favorite's not even Lollipop. I like the brunette. She's my favorite cage dance.
She hasn't been on. Now that they're pretty much going with like wrestlers.
But yeah, it's true.
She was not a wrestler, so I think that her time is end.
Yeah.
She made
I liked her though. She was my favorite one.
Back to the pole.
No Lollipop.
Back to Cheetahs.
Well, I mean, no Lollipop, no Trinity. What kind of show is this?
Yeah, seriously, J-Bone, you okay over there? Yeah, no Lollipop, no Trinity. I mean, that's your girl now.
I don't know. I kind of forgot him. I saw the new girls. Yeah.
So you're okay. You're nice and distracted. Very nice. Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
We get
Jay.
Which one's Jay? We get Raven and Shane's video recap, just letting you know what happened there. Hudson again, man. There's so much Scott Hudson on the show, Bill. Yeah, he is on here as much as Jeff Jarrett, for God's sake. Scott Hudson's everywhere. He's in the back. He's in Raven's lair, candlelit, very satanic, demonic Raven. He said he's not talking, but then Raven does talk after that.
He says he calls Raven a man of few words. Have you ever met Raven?
Yeah, seriously.
That just showed up.
Complete opposite of what Raven is.
I wrote that down. I wrote down, what the fuck? Have you ever met Raven? Is what I wrote down. Man, a few words. Raven won't shut up if you put a mic in his face.
He apparently was not. He apparently wasn't very familiar with the product when he got there.
Yeah, I don't know. Raven does talk.
I'll just say this about Scott tonight. He very well had some decent input in WCW. His WW, whatever you want to call it, range was like 4 days, so it was about the time of some people's marriages. But freaking
Bill taking a shot at me now?
No. I just insult people. Could be anybody.
That's probably Bill's first
run.
That's Bill's first, like, just jabbing the kidney. Go ahead.
His TNA run, though.
Yeah.
I can't sugarcoat it. He checked out. He's collecting a paycheck.
Hudson?
To me, he seemed like he has zero interest in this product. Really? I think he's just going through the motions, and it just bugs the shit out of me that he doesn't look interested in being there. To me.
It's interesting. I don't catch that, and I'm going to pay more attention with that. Why do you two, Mark and Jay? Do you guys see that too, or am I?
I think he's boring and sometimes tone deaf and maybe not engaged. I definitely don't love him, but I'm not on like where Bill's at. But when he's on an awful lot, he's in an awful lot of segments. For somebody
I just don't think he's doing the work. He's not doing the work, so that's checked out to me.
Yeah, he doesn't bring any kind of excitement to a backstage interview.
You're saying he's doing generalities, huh, Bill? Like I think
he's going through the motions. I think he's like showing up, being like, all right, who do I got? Oh, all right. Like maybe doing 30 seconds of research and like, oh, okay, guys, what do you think? Apple dumpling gag. Oh, that's a winner.
Like, Jay, are you catching this too? I'm curious. Are you feeling that, or what do you think about this?
I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like he's like too stiff for the product.
Like in comparison to Goldie, let's say, like, right? I mean, like she was reactive to the
exactly. She's
Goldie
completely.
Was
like there's only one straight guy allowed on this show,
and that's TNA.
And that's TNA.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. See, and if there's more than that, it's too much.
Then it becomes too formal in a sense. Because I like Goldie reacting to everybody. Like I like that they took shots at her, and she's like, she'd shoot back a little bit. I enjoyed that.
Feels like a character that's part of the show. Hudson doesn't. Hudson, the bystander.
He's a newscaster. He threw in there, and cool.
No talent reacts to him.
That's
even when he tries to get he tries to get over with like a comment to start the interview, and that's his shtick. Like he leads most of his interviews with like, I'm Scott Hudson getting myself over with a one-liner, and here's the talent. And the talent never addresses it. All they do is put down Goldie. They don't even. It's like he's not there because you know what? He's not. He's a freaking broomstick with a $2 haircut and a bad goatee.
Man. Shots fired. Give him the machine gun, Jay.
I don't know, man. It's every Thursday though. We know it's coming.
That's true. It's a standing machine gun here at this point. but no, I see what you're saying though. Like he's not really. You could put anybody there. It just doesn't matter.
And that's what it feels like. It feels like anybody.
Goldie reacting was what made it.
Yeah,
them taking shots at her was what made it.
Give me a newsman. Give me John Burden.
John Burden's a great newsman.
Are we doing the single shot or what are we doing?
I think we go Annihilation. We go the J-Bone, cock the shotgun, cock the machine gun.
Oh, all right.
That's the big one.
All right, here we go.
Big rant. You're drinking a Milwaukee's Best in that J-Bone? Is that what you're drinking there?
I don't know what the hell I'm drinking there, but I am happy as a pig.
Oh, you sure? You were lit. You were definitely lit. So anyway, he goes on to say that Alexis and Julio are banned from, and the New Church are banned from ringside. Talking about getting closure potentially here with this whole thing. So we'll see. Raven and Shane Douglas. Interesting fact that Mike TNA throws out there. Their first solo match since 1996. I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. I was kind of shocked. I'm like, these two never crossed paths. Because Bill, you could probably attest to this. That makes sense because 96, and then Shane comes back from the WWF around that time. Then Raven goes to WCW.
Yeah.
And that's it. They probably ships the pass of the night in 96. Raven's off to WCW. And then when he comes back, Shane goes to WCW, and then it's like they're just keep passing each other in ECW. That stop off was 96, and that's about it. Interesting. I was like, wow, that's funny because they really had great chemistry for two guys.
Then Shane moved across the country, so he was on the other coast in XPW, right?
XPW, yeah.
2 years while Raven went up north, and then
that's true. That too
would have come back here.
That makes sense. That is the turnaround on that whole thing. And then Shane took, I think, like a year off in there too. Like 2002, I think Shane wasn't doing anything. And XPW was done by 2002.
Yeah, I think they brought him back like almost like they're.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was definitely out of the business at times.
He got out because he had the pills were a problem. He went through a rough couple of years there. But this was the fans are really into this one. This one's huge.
Can we go over the Tron entrance to Shane first?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was horrible. It might be still coming. It was awesome. Like if freaking Borash produced this. This is like an all-time it's so bad.
Yeah.
It is this is like middle school kid being so proud of his project. It's horrendous.
It's got like lens flare and bevel and emboss. It's got everything.
Look at my swirly
It's like, here's all the wing digs I got.
Yes.
It was weird.
Oh, it was so. I was crying.
It was
James Tron.
But he was. I'm sure you're right. Boraz was probably like, "Fucking nail that one. You got it." But I look back in 02, and I never like thought of
bad. It wasn't this bad.
It didn't feel as bad at the time.
This was like 1996.
Yeah, because you look on the other side. Like, I mean, obviously budgets were way different, but like WWF was putting out DVDs of just their Trons at one point.
Yeah,
you remember?
I did better stuff in desktop publishing in the late 90s in high school than this.
Oh,
yeah, boy, I remember hearing an interview where he'd talk about how he'd be on the plane doing these, putting these together while on the airplane.
In the bathroom, it looks like.
Oh man. Hey, people wore a lot of hats back then. Shane did come out to his Perfect Strangers theme song though, his classic Deep Purple though, which was interesting. But yeah, Ravens has like the time and the clock and the fucking all that stuff and the sand timer and everything. A lot of like generic background images.
It's like an old Atari Jaguar game, and they just cut out the characters from it and like made the background.
Pretty much.
I mean, even though it's the generic of Deep Purple or whatever, I love.
It's a great song.
Douglas
Jay loves himself for some good music.
Yeah, that's a music version, but it's a great. That song is awesome.
It's pretty close, and then it's funny is like Russo's starts out real heavy, and then all of a sudden goes into what the hell does it go into? What's the political rap rock really popular? System of the Downish.
Oh yeah. Bill, they want to know, who do you hate more, Palmer or Scott Hudson? That's what they're asking you.
Oh.
Well, I went more. A lot of my issue with Palmer is he shouldn't have been involved with Moose's storyline.
And he gave a great reason. By the way, if you guys missed that, Bill really did give a great reasoning for that whole how Palmer tied in later with Dreamer. It totally makes sense what you said though. I get it for sure.
Yeah, and for this audience, that's the whole thing. It's just, if you're a monster in wrestling, you can't let some random security guy look like something against you, and that's what they did, and that's what Palmer. He had no business being there. So I'm not gonna just say like based on that, it gives the impression that Palmer he shouldn't be there. Like just like Scott Hudson, he shouldn't be there. It's someone that's not worthy of the role they're in. So there's similarities between the two, but for much different reasons. Like that was more honestly booking with Palmer than Scott Hudson. Yeah. Scott Hudson, I feel, is just really resting on his laurels is what I
can see that. Makes sense. Douglas is fired up though in this one. Crowd is super into it. Crowd's hot. Like crowd's hot. They're putting it over.
Douglas is insane in this match.
Fired up, man.
Dude, he's working the crowd hard.
Oof. Give me my fucking due. Give me my fucking due. Yelling at TNA.
Completely uncensored. And TNA's like almost terrified of him. It's great.
You earn your due. Earn your due.
Yeah, TNA's playing back to him, Jay. He's yelling back to him. Like it's hot, man. I love it.
Shane was awesome.
TNA's yelling at him back to the point where his voice is almost squeaking. It's hilarious.
Oh, good though. I mean, they are.
It is good. Yeah, and just Douglas is just I don't know. He's just completely out of control here. I love it.
Maniac, total lunatic.
And I loved it so much because there was this energy throughout the whole show. You saw it with the fun in the first match. Jerry Lynn came in, tore the shit out of Skipper, and it just kept going and going and going. Like each match had something in it. And it usually I don't like that. Like you need a little roller coaster. Like you can't be up here all the time. But it felt for whatever reason, it felt right tonight.
Yeah. It did, man. It did have that, but it was just. Go ahead, Mark.
This show felt like a well-produced television show because every segment flowed into each other, like the thing with Watts in the locker room, right? You got the continuous cam in, it came out, we went into video pack, we went to interview, we're in the ring, the match starts. Like in the video package, then you get the cut to the live with Raven right before he goes to the ring. And he gives the line, I love this line, our egos never allowed kinship. Like that's a
great line.
Raven is the greatest promo of all time. The dude is just a genius.
What a great line. I like that. Our egos never allowed kinship. That's brilliant. Yeah. I want you to text that to me later.
I will.
I'm gonna throw that into like the tweet when we plug these out.
Yeah, very cool line.
I like that a lot.
Bill, did you see the plant in this match clearly, very clearly before it happened?
Okay, so Bill mentioned the plants. Let's talk about this. Because the woman in the front really started jack. At one point, I thought it was his wife. It might have to be talking about his wife or something.
Did I miss something though? So we're all talking about the same woman, and then Shane booby shakes her back, right?
Yeah.
There was no payoff though, or did I miss it? Was there a bigger role for her?
There was nothing. That's what made me believe it was maybe a real fan though. That's why, because like nothing happened out of it.
That was a plan. That had to be a plan.
But like, what came of it though? That's the thing. Like nothing really came of it.
I don't know.
There were just certain ones that he like went up to in the crowd and got in their face, and he really got in their face. So he must have known her or something, because they were nose to nose, and then, so, like the kid next to her was like, and he gave it right back to him, like,
in the heel section was playing the circle game. They were all doing low circles early, and then when the camera came up, they were all like circling Douglas in the face.
Oh, that's awesome. Heel section. Heel section guy, one of them had a sign that just said, "This is gay" at one point. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Some guy that said, "This is gay." Dude. Or like, what?
Douglas is riling the crowd up here, carries over for the rest of the show.
He's a genius. I mean, Bill, you've been at these arena when he's done that shit. That guy can start a riot with the microphone.
And it was smart. Like it worked in this match. Yeah. But there's definitely, like what I said, what was it, 2 episodes ago? Like there's definitely sections. It's almost like they've now put in the arena. Like there was always the heel section, so we'll leave them alone. But it seems like now behind the hard cam, in the front row, in the corner, there's now at least ringleaders to get something across. And I don't know if that's a floor manager before the show talking to somebody, or if it's even more directing a person in there to kind of lead the charge. But that definitely seems what's happening here to me.
Yeah, it's true, man. Whatever it was, they were hot. They were into it. It got everybody going. Great stuff. Raven's bleeding early.
Does he never not bleed early?
That's true. He's always cut pretty quick.
But I will say they were better with the camera work this time. It wasn't so blatantly obvious, like, oh, there he is poking himself. We didn't see that this time.
Mitchell appears at the top of the ramp with a body bag, and he insinuates that Alexis is in the body bag. And Raven's about to go for a little schmaz back and forth. Douglas gets in there, tries to get Raven. Raven quickly rolls him up, gets the pin, and then he runs out for the save. Goes up to the body bag, lights. You see the white hand, the mystery hand comes out, right?
Many questions because of this now.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get to one sec. So the hand comes out, blackout, lights come back on, Raven's out. But then here's where the hair. This is the storyline now. Douglas is there with the scissors, and he's insinuating, "Gonna cut him, gonna cut the hair," and the security stops, the refs stop him, which we know ends up with the most brutal scalping of all time. Now, the hand, the mystery hand. What are we doing here? Let's set this up. What do we got, Phil? Talk about the questions you got.
When we saw the hand last time, it looked like a very large individual, maybe an abyss type individual,
right?
But now you're just telling me this was Alexis LeRae, very petite woman.
Yes.
And now this monster with the big arm is in that body bag instead?
Right, because before
I'm losing continuity here. I'm losing continuity.
Airtight body bag.
Airtight body bag. Because before the hand came like down to get him, it was gigantic. We were like, who the hell is that tall? We were trying to figure that out. So we don't even know. Hey, you're right. Now it's like it's a 5-foot body pack. Like, who's in this thing? So either way, they're stretching this out quite a bit. I don't know where I don't remember it. I'm curious. Now, they got me sold to figure out who this is, though. I don't know who it is at all. I want the payoff on this.
3 weeks going now.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I do now have a guess. I don't know. Are we making guesses yet? Or
we took guesses a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't remember if maybe I missed that. Oh, also Mitchell called it the even flow, by the way, which I popped for. I think it's Vampiro.
But Vampiro's not that tall. Shit, man.
Yeah, but there's no continuity here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they lost continuity on this one.
Yeah, like
that's a good guess. That's a good guess.
Yeah, Rex, you always give highlights for the next episode. So yes, we know you know who it is, goofball.
Don't spoil it. Nobody spoil it.
I feel like I remember Vampiro coming in because I was still watching.
I know he's
a long
at the
ride
company
at this
some
time.
point. Yeah,
and I want to say I remember him coming in for a feud with Raven, but I don't know if it's here or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I saw a clip recently, and it was like in the '60s or something where he had a match with him. So yeah, that's you're probably right.
Could be
Vampiro.
I love Vampiro. I've been waiting to see some. For those of you who have not watched his recent documentary that came out recently. It's on, if you have Amazon Prime and you get all the movies for free, whatever, it's one of the free documentaries right now. Go watch it. I watched it like 3 or 4 times already.
Is that good?
I watched it on Jay's recommendation. It's fantastic.
It is
really?
Because I found stuff out about Vampiro that I knew his history went back to like the days in Mexico. This covers it all and even gives like nuggets of great behind the scenes stuff when all that trouble was going on with Jarrett was drunk in Mexico a handful of years ago. It's all in there. You gotta go watch it. And it takes Vampiro's history all the way back to his early days. Even the Milli Vanilli stuff gets mentioned. It's great.
Right. He has a tie-in with them.
Dude, it was I'm glad I took Jay's recommendation. Absolutely worth a watch. Second that opinion 100%.
I'll tune in. I'll check it out.
And to tie it in directly to the modern day Impact fans. There's a lot of Impact talent in that too. So you'll see a lot of familiar. Yeah, you'll see a lot of them because it's at a lot of that's at Wrestle King. I mean at Triple Mania. And you also Cross, Johnny Mundo, Ty Valkyrie, they're all there. Rosemary, the Rosemary Central Star thing that year. It's a very big Triple Mania too.
Drunk Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Drunk Jeff Jarrett stuff alone is worth watching.
Ooh, I like this. Zax and Kenny Bolin did a 2-hour with Vampiro. I love Kenny Bolin. I love me some Kenny Bolin, man. Kenny Bolin is a character to listen to. That guy is great.
Zach, send me the link on that.
Yeah, so share that link to us, man. If there's a direct link, it's probably on Kenny Bolin's podcast feed, though. Good stuff. So, all right, we're back to the scissors. Now, I told Dave, my buddy Dave, that he's got to come on for the scalping episode.
Dave's back.
Dave's back for the scalping because him and I are scarred from the way Raven gets his head shaved. So I said you got to come back for that one. He's down. So we get a recap of AJ, D'Lo, and Siaki, that whole deal. Hudson's with Callis, and this is it, guys.
Oh wait, doesn't Sonny cut a promo?
Oh my god,
did Sonny cut a
flashlight? Yeah, it's like a flashlight.
Oh yeah,
I missed this. I missed that.
I wrote down flashlight promo, spooky bathroom stall, LOL.
I totally missed it. I must have looked away. It wasn't a quick promo?
My notes say Siaki flashlight promo. This sucks.
I must have looked away.
He's calling D'Lo failure, but it's like it's Sonny Siaki in the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah,
shit. I must have looked away. I mean, it must have been a quick promo.
It was quick. It was probably 30 seconds.
He was crying and everything. It was perfect.
That's crazy. Okay, I totally missed that. Then I did not see that at all. So interesting. Now we go to Callis with Hudson. Talk about what happened in the X Division situation. And they create the Ultimate X. he comes up with the creation of probably the most infamous match in TNA Impact history. What this company became known for. What's that?
K-Bone.
Oh,
that's what Snocky's promo looked like. It looked
was that what it was?
That's what it was.
Jesus Christ. But interesting. All right, so let's talk about this. Is a big one though. The Ultimate X this is what Impact is famous for. This is it, man. I mean, he has the diagram. It's got it all out there. Callis, there's a funny ongoing little feud between Disco and Callis of who actually came up with the idea. Again, so they always talk about that when they're around each other's shows. So there's always a little like sidebar to that. But
what a scumbag!
Mark the show, guys. Episode 58 is the reveal of the Ultimate X. Very historic though in Impact. This becomes awesome. The company is known for this. Go ahead.
If somebody has that diagram, that would be like the ultimate in merch.
Bill's buying
framed diagram.
Now that's cool.
That would be.
Is that in Ingrid's garage?
No way. No way.
I'm curious.
That's probably still framed in the offices somewhere.
Sadly, I bet that got thrown out.
Could have.
Could have.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where no one's gonna want this.
It's a one-off.
Like no one's gonna want this.
Part of company history.
You know what's so cool about this is we've seen like the Hard 10 and so many other gimmicky, we've seen 4-corner strap matches and blah, blah, blah. They've made up a ton of things. Clockwork House of Orange. This is the match. So to hear Callis say it, it was like, damn, that match is still mega relevant today.
It's what the company really is known for. In many ways, that turned so many heads when that debuted. I mean, I think it was one of their highest buy rates when that happened. It's like, what the they're gonna do what? There's ropes above. Like what? I mean, even today, it still sparks my interest. Like that's madness. That match, that match sounds like fucking madness.
Well, he even says it's gonna pop the buy rate, brother.
It's gonna pop the buy rate. No, it's true though. It's fucking crazy. That is one wacky match, and it's amazing actually. And then the video game, I love playing that in the TNA video game. It is a cool game. It is a cool match to have in the game. And they've done it. They did several of these. And I'm sure we're going to get one again soon at some point when fans are back. So, or even maybe not. We might.
You don't need to have fans for Ultimate X.
Yeah. So
it doesn't require like a huge set. I mean, it's not that big, right? Like in terms of height.
It's just height.
Honestly, based on my experience at Ultimate X matches, it might be easier to do without fans.
True.
That belt has a tendency to fall down.
That's true.
Oh, really?
At Homecoming, it fell down. Even in the Asylum, there's many times where it fell.
Yeah, and multiple times. It's tough for it because it keeps just the pressure on those steel cables. Yeah. It's tough to keep that belt there without falling.
Because later on, what they did was because you're not fully strapping it. Because you fully strap it, the guy's hanging. It's gonna take him forever to unbuckle the whole thing.
Yeah, so they have it.
So they partial strap it. They partial button it, when it kept falling, I think maybe it's the first or maybe third Ultimate X, it falls like a shit ton of times. And TNA just starts rolling with it. Like, let's put it up again. And it turns into a thing. We'll get to it. We're going to get to it. Later on, I remember they started full buttoning it and it became a struggle for the guys to take it off.
I remember that.
Yeah, they would hang from it.
Yeah, I remember seeing those.
There was that one, right? But where somebody was literally hanging from the fucking belt, and it couldn't.
I just saw it recently.
They had the guy. I want to say Lethal?
I think it's
Lethal. Somebody's hanging from the belt, and he has to reach above and unstrap it and fall.
I want to say it's Saban, but he's like yanking on it and like pulling his legs up, and the whole structure's moving, and it will not come off.
And that's when, because they started full buttoning it when the damn thing wouldn't, when the thing get fallen off. But it happened at Homecoming. We were at Homecoming, and on the final DVD cut, obviously they made sure to cut the camera to it and everything in the pay-per-view. But it fell 3 times at Homecoming in the Asylum, and they had Pizza Tie. Remember, Pizza Tie had to run up and fucking put it up every time. They're like, pizza. So if you watch the Homecoming broadcast, Jay, on on Impact Plus.
Okay.
You start hearing the crowd just start chanting Pizza Tie or something Pizza Tie. They were chanting Pizza Tie, and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? It's because this ringside attendant who did some reffing too, was the one running up on the ladder and fucking putting it back up there.
Oh,
it was hilarious. You can see Bill in the front row just dying, laughing. He's just enjoying it. But it was fun, man. So you're right though, Bill. That the diagram, ultimate merch right there. Yeah, maybe call our boy or Dr. Ross on that one. See if he's got it laying around. God, where is some of that merch?
I'm a framed art guy. Like for a framed art person, that's perfect.
It's stuff like this that I'm like, man, I wish there was somebody more attentive in their merch area who'd be like, let's fucking print it. Why not? Let's just print those out. Let's do a limited run. Let's sell like a cool.
Like, for an Ultimate X, be like, that's like the thing to promote. Hey, selling the poster of the diagram of the Ultimate X,
signed by Don Callis. I buy it. It's sold. It's on the wall. It's on the wall. If I got it, it's a cool little piece of art. The swinger on a horse should have been on for sale already.
Yeah, that they did it on AEW with him and Kenny. That print that they're not doing it is just, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
It should be on Shop Impact. But yeah, the way it fell in the way it fell in Rich Swann's lap at Homecoming. I mean, it was great the way he pulled it off. Swann saved it at Homecoming. The way it fell, and he's caught in his lap. Like, oh shit! made the show. But they're very cool stuff. Very, very cool. That was the history of that. Recap of the strap match was next. Little video, and now we got the one. Right, this is the one. AMW and Dusty Rhodes taking on. There's not a call on the New York connection at this point, but it's Simon Swinger and Disco. Weird thing was, AMW comes out to the old music. So after last week coming out to the new music, they come out to the old music, but they exit to the new music later on, which is so weird.
Whoops!
I don't know. Somebody's drunk at the thing, but so Mark, I'll let you start it off because you were anticipating the elbows and all that stuff. So go ahead.
Yeah, they started out with Dusty's. I love Dusty Rhodes, one of my favorites of all time. He's moving a little bit slow here. So you kind of know what to expect in terms of that from the match. What I didn't expect was Simon Diamond's comedic value to this match.
He's fantastic. So underrated.
Oh, man. His mimicking of the American Dream, not only in the promo beforehand, but in the ring itself, had me like rolling at the beginning of this match. You get your typical back and forth, and then it breaks down. And ultimately, how long was this match? It was fairly short, maybe 10 minutes or less.
Maybe
yeah.
10 minutes.
Eventually, though, it happens, right? Disco gets isolated in the ring with Dusty, and you know it's going to happen. At this point, I'm actually on my feet because I'm like, give him the bionic elbow. Because I know he's going to get it here. But I've been waiting for this for like an hour now. So I'm like hit him. And he hits him and I popped huge. That was the moment of the show for me. I loved the main event, but that bionic elbow was like my favorite moment of the whole show.
And they planted the seed for it an hour prior. That's
why. Yeah, I mean that's probably I didn't think about it at the time till we're talking it out. But yeah, that's the beauty of wrestling right there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because all throughout the promo they're like, we're not gonna stand there and take your elbow. And that's exactly what they did. They just stood there
and even though it's obvious setup and storytelling for the fans, right? Like, oh, now you know to expect it. I did. I just didn't know when I was going to get it. And when I got it, it was super satisfying. And, I'm not like a Disco fan either, so it was a double as satisfying.
Hey, shout out to Simon Diamond, though, for putting us over last week, by the way. Did you guys catch that? Simon actually quote tweeted our show and gave a little insight to his match, how it was just like a brutal, that the strap man, it's like, oh, this fucking hurt, things like that. I mean, he really put it over.
Hey, and, Simon Diamond, come on the show.
Let's get Simon. He's not doing too much. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah. Let's make a running list here of some people to contact for throwback, because it's a whole separate list for throwback.
If you've been on any of these episodes, come on the show.
You're welcome. Come on, yeah. Simon, I'd love to talk to Simon. I mean, those guys.
Yeah, then we can get all the juice between him and Johnny Swinger.
Oh man, you guys swing.
So, and then we could have Swinger on Tuesday.
Oh man, Swinger has. We've had Swinger on once, and we've been told Swinger is good to come back at some point very soon as well. I was told that He's ready to swing back on the main show. Though. I've been told he's coming on back to swing the main show though. But I might maybe we'll double it up. Maybe we'll do a little segment where we could piece it onto this show. J-Bum, little editing skills on your side, man. Might have to cut to a swinger interview talking about the asylum at some point. Might have to do a little editing, a little video magic if we can pull Swinger off. Swinger broad. I don't know. Is that the excitement of getting Swinger on to 2 shows there?
No, that's for Simon Diamond.
Oh, I thought that was the glue.
Oh, yikes.
That's the splice.
Good stuff. But again, no. Splice. Daniels interferes on this one. Attacks Dusty. So after was there a formal win? It wasn't a formal winner, was there in this one?
There was.
I didn't write this down.
I didn't even.
Dusty pins Glenn. Pins Glenn.
After the bionic elbow with the bullrope.
Yes.
Right, because then Daniels hits Dusty, goes into the corner, and then all hell breaks loose.
Daniels gets in there, starts beating on Dusty, and then Jeff Jarrett comes in at the tag.
Well, why not?
No, well, the Daniels thing, Jarrett and Daniels have the feud. So this one kind of makes sense because, I mean, they're feuding. Jarrett running in on Legend earlier didn't need that. By the way, I'm rocking my Bad Influence t-shirt because Kaz and Daniels are both on this show, by the way. So shout out to those two. So he comes in, Watts comes in, full on brawl. Everybody's going at it. Watts makes next week. Now, tell me if you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I got double bull rope match.
Yep.
Yes.
Jarrett and Watts versus Legend and Daniels.
Yes.
My only issue from a logic standpoint is there a conflict of interest because he's the director of authority, but now he's in matches and he's siding with the good guys. Well, give me your pick. Go ahead.
Well, no, I think it's AMW. It gets Simon and Swinger in a double bull rope, and this a regular tag with Jarrett against Daniels and Legend.
Okay. So I mixed that. Okay, I didn't mark that one. Okay, yes, I miswriting that down here. Okay, cool. So Simon and Swinger against AMW double bull rope. Did he say titles? He didn't say titles. Did he?
Didn't say titles.
No, just ropes.
Just ropes. Now, would they twist it into titles when they make it? Will they turn it into a title match?
That could
still happen, right?
Maybe.
I'm curious if that's the one because at some point I know Swinger and Simon do become tag champs because we always talk about how
they're hot as a team right now.
They're great.
They look great too.
Because recently Stryker started mentioning that Swinger's a former tag team champion. He's thrown that in a few times. So we do know he wins. I'm glad because Josh never fucking said it. So I'm glad Stryker's putting it over.
I'll say this though, for throwback purposes, in the last week or two, a lot of Asylum references recently. Garrett put out an interrogators picker this week.
Yeah.
You don't think
that was great to
inspired that? You don't think we all inspired that? We put it out 6 months ago. Remember that, Jay? You cut that picture for me.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of Josh Matthews, in a recent interview about BTI, he talked about, because we always talk about Keith Mitchell in the truck. Well, they lost Keith Mitchell in the truck. He left, I guess, in 2019. And
he's down south.
Pretty much Josh said, we lost something when we did that. Like, we didn't have anybody doing that role anymore. So he said, I should do that. Like, according to Josh, he's like, we need a new senior producer to be like the guy in the truck. That's what Josh is Keith Mitchell now.
Oh, so he's doing that now.
Supposedly, I didn't realize that. He's now Keith Mitchell pretty much.
Oh, wow.
It's Josh Matthews in the truck.
Isn't that something? How about that? Now, Keith went down south. He's at AEW now. So they
all went. They're pretty much almost, except for like the loyal, like Eric Tompkins and a few others.
Yeah. It's all, they basically took all the TNA folks. But interesting. That's fascinating. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to look into that. But good. I mean, look, the shift is great. If Josh is now in the truck and Stryker's our commentator, I mean, we all love Stryker already. He's infectious as a commentator, man.
His charisma's through the roof. I love it.
So good.
His voice is gone by match 2.
What's that?
His voice is gone by match 2.
He's awesome though.
Yes.
So we got the setup for next week. Like I said, a little conflict of interest with the Watts thing, and you have the management consulting going on in parallel. I just don't want them to lose the momentum because Watts is so goddamn over right now. so goddamn over right now. It's like incredible to watch. Like him get over. It's like he doesn't need to be in matches. Like you don't even, fuck it. You can stay out of the matches. You're super over just on the microphone at this point. Like fucking match.
He's kind of like when Stone Cold became an authority figure and he got physical once in a while. Very similar.
Yeah, I definitely have to. We gotta like singled out. I know Watts has a Twitter, and he doesn't use it though. He doesn't really use it. I found his Twitter account. He came up with my Facebook recommended friend somebody the other day. I was like, hey, Eric Watts, holy shit. I was like, clicked on it, hanging out, DDP. Still really good friends with DDP. He lives in Atlanta, I guess. It'd be great. He'd be a great get too. He's an interesting perspective. I'd love, because you could talk about like he tried so many things with you, and then it finally kicked with this authority figure thing. Like, how was that? You know, I'd love to hear that perspective.
I just can't wait till Watts versus Callis. That's I'm gonna pop so
hard. They put that out a few weeks ago, didn't they? That clip, I think. Yeah,
they did.
We get it. Okay, now this was indulgence, right? The next segment is a Jeff Jarrett music video for no good reason. For no reason at all.
It's a super Jarrett music video for shits and giggles.
I fast forwarded.
But where did it fit in? That's what I couldn't figure out. I was like,
into Jarrett's ego.
I guess I was
it's reminding you that once all this other stuff is done, he's going for that NWA title.
That's what they're hinting at. That's what that was. You're right. But it was so oddly placed. It was like, wait, what? Yeah, Jeff Jarrett music. Like, why do we throw this in here right now?
Like, well, yeah. When I watched it, I had to rewind it and go back to see what TNA said leading into it. I misunderstood it at first. I thought it was they were doing like a promo for someone who was going to like face off against Jarrett. I like completely misunderstood it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Okay, there's Jarrett. I'm waiting for like, pictures of some other guy or some hints of something. I'm like, this is all Jarrett. Wait, what the hell is this? Hang on, rewind.
That's fantastic.
I don't know. Once again, it feels like someone's watching the show because Garrett, I'm even bringing up the tweet, 12 hours ago, put out a tweet saying, Jeff Jarrett may have been unbearable for long stretches of his TNA run, but his theme song ruled. And then he has the Jeff Jarrett's
the My World song.
Yeah, which is pretty much what this is here.
That's what it is.
Pretty much what it's here. So it's kind of interesting.
I'm dying to know who is the sinister laugh at the beginning of that music. There's a laugh at the beginning. It just goes. And I'm like, who is that? Like, I want to know who is this? Is it Borash? Who's the soundbite doing that?
Oh, that's a sinister minister, probably.
I used to love when Steiner would call Borash Borscht, because you know how he talks. God, so shut up there, Borscht. I don't know why it popped into my head. I know why it popped into my head, because Sacrifice is coming back next month. We got that announced, and you have a 53 3/8 chance of catching it on Impact Plus if you order today. So that's
fat asses.
I love me some Scott Steiner, man. He's got okay. Can I just put this side? Which one's Jay? If they're playing that Scott Steiner math as much as they do on the Twitch breaks, you have to have him appear at Sacrifice. Am I crazy?
That would be great.
Like, he has to make a cameo at the Sacrifice. Like, show.
He could be at the bar. He could be at the bar.
I don't care what it is, but
if he was in Swingers Palace,
he has to be. Please put Scott Steiner on that show.
What's funny is David Hero is actually bringing Freaks. The show is called Freakzilla. He's bringing in Steiner to a local show pretty soon.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's the Wisconsin promoter, David Hero.
Wow.
Interesting. All right, guys.
GLCW.
He puts on some big shows, man. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Main event. This is it. Low key. AJ Styles title on the line. That's what this match was. It was unbelievable. This match. Low key is. This is peak low key right here. How?
Man.
Go around the horn here. Go ahead, Mark. You're not in here.
So this is the first time I want to say I ever saw Low Key in my life, because I was watching TNA. I don't know. I'm looking back. I can't see when I would have seen him before, because he wasn't around when I was watching. I didn't start watching until Raven showed up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had never seen Low Key before this. So this, looking back on it, is probably the first match I ever saw. I fell in love with Loki's in-ring right away, like immediately, and nothing has changed. For as much as I can't stand his voice, for as much as I know about what a flat earth and D-bag he is in real life now, the dude can go. This match was insane.
Oh, we forgot to mention the promo leading into this. Scott Hudson and Low Key.
I didn't write that down. Okay.
I wrote down Scott Hudson - Low Key and in parentheses on a box.
On a box.
Because the height.
Scott Hudson and Low Key are the same height in this promo. Scott Hudson's a fairly tall guy, right? He's like 6 foot something.
Did they put Loki on a riser? Really?
It's either Low Key on a milk crate or Scott Hudson's on his knees. One of the two.
Jeez, no way.
Well, he did get jobs in major wrestling promotions.
So. God, this is getting full. It's a family show now, though. This is the whole one. Take it easy. Take it easy. Relax. Put that car in reverse. Try parking that again. My God.
The PP game.
This is a very the Low Key with his Scott Hudson. I'm going to win that title later on tonight. You're like, whatever the fuck that is.
I love them saying, and I didn't know this, like they've held him and AJ, Loki and AJ had held all the same championships in the world, I guess, except for the NWA-TNA world title, which AJ had. And that was like the reason for Loki's really wanting to hold this title. Man, you forget how good this is. Peak Loki. He's in the ring. He's in the ring with AJ Styles, and all of my favorite moments of the match came out of Loki. But not all of them, but like that doesn't happen often that someone's in the ring with AJ, and I'm talking about the other guy. Loki, man, that octopus. Like, there's a point towards the end of the match where he comes back in through the ropes. I forget the sequence, but he winds up slipping into an octopus, and it's like that, and it's fluid and it's perfect, and the hold is absolutely flawless. Yeah, Loki was something else, man. I mean, I know he still can go, but Jesus, this match.
He's one of those uncrowned champs, huh, Billy? Because he was set to win the title in 2017, I want to say, in Impact. And then he left because they changed plans on him. And that's why he left in 2017. Because he was in LAX for a little bit. Let's not forget.
That's when he's doing the suit gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Still the suit.
The Hitman.
Hitman gimmick, which I love, by the way.
Yeah, it was cool.
I love. And then he went to MLW, Jay, which you were watching and reviewing and stuff, right? That's where he showed up there with the Hitman gimmick.
Yeah, and he's still crazy good.
Oh, he's still there. Yeah. He won their title, though. I think he got their title.
He did.
Yeah, he had the longest MLW reign ever, or something within the last couple of years.
I remember because 2017, I want to say, Bill, you were probably there live. He was supposed to win it. I think this is where they changed gears and they put it on. Is it Alberto, or that's when they put it on to Austin when he came back? It was somebody, like, they changed direction. They put it on somebody else.
It feels like it may have been during the Austin era.
That's what I think. And then he was like,
"What's Alberto?" Pretty much just got it in his era, so I wouldn't say it was Alberto.
I think it was Aries, and that's what. And I sympathize with Loki because it was like they built him up so perfectly. It was like prime to take it. It was like it made sense. Like, cool, Loki's gonna win the title, bring it to LAX, and it was perfect. And they just changed direction. But he's very
because that go instead to the belt collector gimmick.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's what it was. But he was so good. This match was fantastic. This match, got the bat shot. Yeah, he got the bat shot at the end for AJ to get the win. Use the Russo bat, knocks Loki in the face, gets the win, so he retains. But
how good was that though when he jumped up to the top rope and you thought he was going to get Russo on the announce table after stiffing him a couple times? Man, that was sweet. Damn, I wish he'd got that. Like, I loved Russo in this episode.
I was just gonna say, Russo in this role is very, very like perfect for what he's doing.
I have been hard on Russo on camera. Fine with Russo in the back. This is a much better role for Russo. He seemed more. He wasn't so over the top. He wasn't dominating. He wasn't there too long. He played a role. He played it well, and he didn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah. I think this role, because forget the overbearing, like what the Sports Entertainment Extreme and the constant segments. This is perfect. It's enough to be effective. And he's just a perfect manager. He towers over his managee, though, which is the part that's always fun. You forget how big of a guy Russo's a tall guy.
How tall is Russo? 6'2", 6'3"?
Gotta be at least 6'2", because AJ's like maybe 5'10" or something.
He's about my height, 5'10", yeah.
Right. So Russo's towered over him, man. So but no, I mean the match is great. This is the classic. This is one that's on the classics to me. I think this is a fantastic match. You got a little wonky ending. But Bill, does this fall into your not clean endings, or is this one okay for where?
This one not as bad. I'm going with on this one. The only thing, because it's not overbooked. It's still like a dusty finish, but it's not overbooked. Obviously, you have Rudy stopping that spot from low key going on to the table.
This is what you're talking about in the beginning of the show, or the Rudy?
Yes,
thing?
and this was, I think, this was Rudy's best match ever as a referee.
Yeah.
Until he was obviously, that was the finish that was given to him. And it was, okay, yeah, you're turned around, you're doing this. Then obviously you see a pin attempt in the ring. You go in, count 1, 2, 3. But he was technically, I'd say, perfect in this match.
He was right where he needed to be. I noticed that at all those points, he was right, like on the counts.
It's like he went to ref school last week, and now he knows what he's doing. It's remarkable to me. But that's why I'm going, you know what? Was he just getting ridden the worst material in the world for a long time?
Like a lot.
Yes and no. Yes and no. 'Cause he was out of position a lot of the time too. But he was still on his game in this episode.
True.
In this match particular, like he helped make this, at this point in their company history, top 5 match easily in company history.
This is a great. I want to say, call me. I think this is on like one of the best stuffs that they put out there in this time. This is
It should be.
Yeah, it's ranked as one of the top matches. So what I'll do next week, guys, I'll pull out. I got the stack over there of the first 5 releases on TNA home video, and it's like all Asylum stuff from like 02, 03. We'll see what's on it. I'm just curious. I'm curious just to see what we've watched thus far and what's actually on these best stuff. Be kind of fun to see what they.
This match has to be a highlight.
I believe it is. I believe because it was just so perfect. It's just such action wise. It was these guys are just on it.
I'd show this match to a fan of any promotion.
Yeah,
to any wrestling fan.
Yeah,
these 2 guys are still active today. They're still going today. You know, it's remarkable. But that's it. AJ is still your champion. We didn't get much of a cliffhanger to go to 59 though. It was pretty much like ending done. We're good. Yep. Not much cliffhanger. You got maybe a couple announced for next week, but not a ton. 59 is a little bit of a mystery show in a couple ways. So
there was so many moments throughout the show where the shenanigans was coming in after several different matches throughout this episode. So it made sense for it not to happen again. This one, like, okay, let's not have another run in, like Daniel's coming down or Legend or Jared, heaven forbid.
Yeah. And and you didn't have that on this one. So that was it. So clean stuff somewhat clean at the end, but 59 is upon us. That's 58 in the books. But overall, this is one I would recommend to watch.
Yes.
The crowd helped a lot. I mean, the crowd was just so energetic, man. I really just enjoyed the engagement. Tanae was fired up. Everybody, it's just one of those things where, like, I don't know what they put in catering that day because everybody was on like an A game on this show. The whole roster was just on.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Tons of great wrestling, tons of good segments.
Yeah.
We keep using 55 as kind of like the high watermark in recent memory for the throwback, and I'd put this one right up there with it. Maybe a little below it, but not by much.
The 50s have been good. You know that once you hit the year mark, they, like Bill, you've said it, you hit one here and they're rolling. Like the momentum's here now. They got
the anniversary show actually wasn't that good, but every show since that was pretty good.
Yes.
The one right after the anniversary was like that's where they was off the race.
Yeah, it was much better. The show after the anniversary was good.
Yeah, you pointed that out on the anniversary. We're like, that wasn't great for an anniversary. I was like, kind of whatever. But
it felt like a full reset. That actual show felt like a full reset.
The anniversary show is the one where Six Pack shows up and he's all blitzed, right?
Yes, I believe. Or that's the Sting match also. That's the anniversary show.
Yeah, it's like they put all their eggs in we got Sting. Why bother doing anything else?
That's pretty much what it was. Because it was a weak show. The anniversary was weak. But after that, off to the races. Like that, they've been on since. But they're investing in the right people. There's there's still a lot of Jarrett, but you got a lot of the young guys getting focused. 3 Live Crew, AJ Styles, Low Key, D-Lo, Kid Kash still in the mix on there. The Ultimate X popping up. It's like there's a lot going on here, man.
This hasn't even shown up in the ring yet.
He had one match.
Oh, that's right.
Last week. Last week was the first actual match.
Is that the tag match?
That was the first match. Yeah, as Abyss. But great stuff though, man. I'm very I'm hooked all over again. You could tell me it's a steal that we're getting for $8 a month. I mean, I was paying $10 a week, but if we were doing this in order and we had to chalk up the 10, I would pay $10 today. I'd still pay $10 a week for this. It's fun. They're fun shows. They hold up to me. They really do hold up to me. But that's it, guys. That's 58. Thank you for joining us. Let's 50 will be next week. So definitely get your Impact Plus. Get logged to get the free 30 days. If you don't have it, you get 30 days for free. You can do what our buddy Eric Eoff did, and he watched 114 of them in like 40 days. Crazy. It was amazing. He watched a lot of Impact. He caught up on the Asylum quicker than the Asylum caught up on itself. It was unbelievable. So you can do that. Blaze through them. But get your Impact Plus. Watch along with it. It's a lot of fun to just see. If you're a fan of Impact Wrestling, these are the roots of the company. The genesis of the company is this. That X Division title is still part of the company today. The NWA titles obviously have split, but they do lineage back. The Impact titles. They feed them into these. There's a history here. Johnny Swinger, James Storm, Chris Sabin, still on TV today. They're on these shows. So it's fun to see the context. So I encourage everybody, go back and watch D-Lo. Go back and watch this stuff. It's fun to see it. But yeah, let's get our plugs in here. Have I missed anything? Any other details, guys? Or we got anything else to add to 58? Close it out. Pretty much
it, right? It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Rest in peace, Marky D.
To who?
Rest in peace, Marky D.
Marky D. Oh, from Fat Boys. From that Fat Boys. Yeah. Let's get our plugs in here, though. Mark, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitter at Mark World Order, MARKQ World Order. That's it.
Very nice. Very nice. J-Bone, get all the plugs in. Where can they find you? Smashing and dashing and Insta-neck and all that stuff.
You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash
This Podcast. I can be your guy. I can be your catch him on Smash This Podcast.
Are you my hype guy now?
I am. I can be your guy. We need props. Scott.
This is the year I quit. All right. So you can find Smash This Podcast on YouTube and Twitch visually. All the socials, the Insta-Neck, the Facebox, and the Twitter box. And for your bone on the go, the audio portion of Smash This Podcast, anchor.fm/Smash This Podcast. It goes out to Spotify, Apple, Google, Castbox, Rebel Radio, Bull Run FM, all these different ones.
Interesting. Bill, where can they get you?
They can get me mainly on the Twitter, but also the Instagram at my name, William M. Gardner, Gardner.
Very nice. Guys, get me at Transberry on Twitter or Hemi Music on Twitter or the BSB Show on Twitter. It's another podcast I do with Basil, talking production of pro wrestling. This show available at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Total Nonstop Impact and Google. Everything comes right up. If you start typing Total Nonstop, it's action, deletion, impact. So we are right there with the people. But go ahead, guys, and connect with us on social media, as well as the twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, youtube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Those are our three of our biggest links. Discord also available. The chat continues in Discord. Links in the description. On Twitch, guys, don't forget, we do. You could follow, sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub a month with Amazon Prime. It saves you $5. So if you have Amazon Prime, all you do is log right in and you subscribe to your channel of choice. Make it us, make it J-Bone Smash Podcast, whatever you want to do, but use it. If you have Prime, a lot of people don't take advantage of this, Bill. It blows my mind. They pay for Prime. You get a free sub. So
free. You get emotes. You get everything. It's
private chat.
It'd be crazy not to do it.
It's true. It's true. And speaking of which, if you do that every week, there is a watch along for Impact on Access TV and probably BTI now, right? Bill, you guys are going to do BTI as well. So
BTI.
3 hours of Impact Wrestling. Watch it alongside Bill and Jay. Jay's already sweating. That's why the headband's on. He's already sweating, thinking about it. He's like, 3 hours of watch long, then 2 hours of fucking review. My ass is not moving for 5 hours.
Well, J-Bo might move from time to time. I will never leave my seat.
That's true. Bill is there. He is your staple on the watch along.
This old bone has to get up once in a while.
So hang out with these guys, and then immediately following the watch along, we do the review. We do stiff bone. We do the review. Impact on Access TV. Guests.
That's for After Dark.
After Dark is an optional
Twitch
show.
love.
Twitch love might come back. Maybe it's come back from Sweetest Day, Bill. It might be Twitch love.
Sweetest Day. We don't have that down here. I haven't heard that mentioned in a long time.
Oh, it's a regional thing.
It's a northern Midwestern thing. I never heard of it till I moved to Nebraska, I think it was, and then to Michigan. We don't have it down here.
Didn't even know that. Interesting.
Next, you're gonna be dropping these Goldilocks lines on us.
Twitch love, but go ahead and check that out, guys. What was I even getting at here? But I totally forgot where I was. Oh, the schedule. So we do the review, the discussion and review, immediately following the watch along. This week coming up, I have a feeling, from what I'm being told here, a certain someone from Impact Wrestling will be stopping by this Tuesday. We might have a little somebody stopping by this Tuesday. To explain some actions. He's a controversial figure in Impact Wrestling. He's going to be stopping by Tuesday. Don't miss that. And so, yeah, you don't want to miss it. He'll be there at the top of the show just to, say a couple of things. So catch that Tuesday, guys. Thursday every week is the throwback. Next week is number 59. And then Sunday is the Impact Plus Weekly. We talk Xplosion, open forum for an hour every Sunday. It's kind of a wrap up for the week. And then we go from there. But Bill, anything else?
No, keep the chat going in the Discord until then.
Yeah, the Discord's popping. Mark, how's that treehouse doing on Discord? What's going on?
Man, well, Alicia showed up, so we've just
she did. She's in there.
Yeah, we've just been kind of hanging in the treehouse. We've got miscellaneous set up, so there's talk going on there. Of course, regular Impact, this show. We've got talk going for that. Maybe some other promotions a little bit here and there. J-Bone's covering.
What?
J-Bone's covering all sorts of stuff on Smash This Podcast, and that gets some love too.
Very nice.
So join us on Discord.
There's over 60 people in there now. It's nice
little
crowd.
It's a nice little hangout. If you want to keep the convo going between these shows, you guys can hang out there. All the listeners are in there. So
if you want,
tune in. I'll check it out.
Who's in there?
Tony shows up. Who knows? Yeah,
he buys time to get in there. So
he only shows up in the AEW chat room though.
No, anybody here? Go ahead, Jay. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't know. It's completely slipped out of my head. Let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Throwback is a lot of fun. Personally, it's great. I love the nostalgia. I appreciate everybody who watches along with us on this. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you Sunday. Watch Xplosion. It's on the free version of Impact Plus. Just watch it. There's good matches on there. Go watch Joe Doring last week. It's fantastic. And then watch this week's. It's Shira taking on Fala is the main event this week. So go check it out, guys. And in the meantime, have a great weekend. Stay warm. Hopefully, Texas, Mark, your power stayed on, so I think you're okay for now. So, Texas,
don't say it out loud.
Oh, sorry. We're praying for you, Texas. Hopefully, everything works out okay. But thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you Sunday. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.